Where that Quintus.
Okay, should I just go?
Yeah, just go. Quintus as he was becoming older.
Quintus, as he was becoming older, was spending more and more time on the farm, or on his farm.
Yeah, exactly right. Was remaining.
For business was becoming tiring to him, and
Yeah, nice. For it tired him of business literally. Do whatever you want to make good English. Yeah, but I want you to see how the words work. It tired him of business. You don't say that, but just see how that's how the words work. Good.
Yeah. And the noise and fumes of the city were becoming hateful to him.
Were becoming hateful to him. Were becoming for a hatred to him. Literally, don't say that though. But see that you have two datives.
Okay. More often. Is often?
Often, yeah.
Often, when he stayed in the city, he said this.
Yeah. Farm, when will I see you, etc. Okay.
Do you want me to keep going?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're skipping the poem. We're going right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Through the valley. Wait, what is I stopped?
Oh, do you want me to translate the poem?
Sure.
Oh, farm, when shall I see you again? When will it be permitted for me, I guess? Now, at this moment, with the books of the ancients, at another moment, in sleep and in idle hours, to lead, maybe spend a happy forgetfulness of a harried life. To spend to spend happy forgetfulness of a harried life. Ooh, that doesn't really make English at all, does it? Why don't I say, to lead my life happily forgetful of a harried life. Yeah? Okay. Good.
Okay. Through the summer, he preferred to live in the hills.
Excellent.
Fearing lest.
Yeah, everybody see the ing, even though it's a perfect participle.
Fearing lest if
Lest he become ill.
Lest he become ill, if he stayed in Rome.
Yeah, good.
Many people.
Just many, yeah. Good. Many people, good.
For many, were becoming corrupted by illness.
Yeah, were corrupted, were seized by illness. Good.
If they had to suffer the heat of the city.
Excellent. Okay, good job. Do you want to do another paragraph? Okay, let's pause here. Very nice. Okay, Timmy, line 10.
All right.
Quintus, therefore, and this is an ablative absolute, with the summer having been peracta in fundo.
With the summer having been carried out on his form.
Nice, good. So we see it's an ablative absolute. Good job, Timmy.
When winter came.
Yeah, exactly. When winter had come, yeah, we could say had arrived or something, I guess.
He descended to the sea and
Yes.
spent the winter near Naples.
Excellent. Maybe, half a second, guys, I'm sorry. Maybe we can translate this as used to. He would, or used to, or something. The imperfect there. Right. He always would winter in Naples.
Used to spend
Spend winter in Naples. Good.
The temperate climate of the place.
Ooh, nice translation. Temperate climate. For the temperate climate. Good.
For the temperate climate of the place was greatly useful to his health.
Nice. Was greatly useful to his health. That's nice English. Just please, again, one more time. This is what this chapter is teaching you, this double dative. Recognize there are two datives. Was for a use to his health. Right? Just recognize that there are this weird double, because it's not so uncommon, and you can stumble over it if you're not expecting it. If you're expecting it, just go right to good English the way Timmy did. Good.
With spring having began.
Yeah, again, it's an ablative absolute. Everybody see it. I would like something more present-y with spring entering in, ing, rather than having.
All right. When the west winds of the spring were blowing, and the first swallow had returned
Good. Where did he return? Ad Italiam,
to Italy.
to Italy. Good.
He sent a message to Maecenas,
Good.
which said that he would soon return to Rome.
Excellent. Now, just we're not sure if it means message or messenger. It's the same word. So I might want it to be a messenger here, just simply because of the qui. He sent a messenger to Rome. Qui plus the subjunctive is purpose, to say the following. Yeah? It's another way to show purpose. It's in the grammar in this chapter. The two things we're learning. Thing number one, this double dative. Thing number two, qui plus the subjunctive, which is another way to show purpose. There's about 10 ways to show purpose in Latin. Here's another one. Qui plus the subjunctive, to say that. Oh, and then, right. Timmy wants to point out that then what is he saying? He's saying indirect statement. To say, accusative infinitive, that he was going to return. Good. Nice. Oh, beautiful. Do you want to keep going?
No.
No, okay.
Translation, you want me to just read
Hold on.
One of
Okay, line 15.
Um,
Ablative on, or something like that.
okay. So, on a certain summer. or,
Yeah, on a certain summer. Good.
About to make the journey to his farm from Rome.
Ooh, nice. About to make a journey. Remember, Latin likes to pile up participles, waiting for a main verb. About to make a journey. Good. About to set out. Go.
He promised Maecenas.
Good. Yeah, he promised Maecenas. He had promised, maybe a little closer. but
Okay.
Fine. And you promise a dative, of course.
Yeah, so he promised.
And now, what did he promise? He promised indirect statement, so I'm going to expect accusatives and infinitives, and that's what I get.
Yeah. He promised that
That he, good, everybody say it?
would stay in the country for
Nice.
5 days.
4 or 5 days here, as opposed to the first two words of the sentence, that was ablative. Now we have accusative. Accusative is showing duration of time, 4 or 5 days. And notice the quote-unquote future infinitive, right? That future participle plus esse in future indirect statement. Yes, do we see it? The future, quote-unquote future infinitive? Mansurum esse, that he was going to remain for 5 days only. And then,
He would return to Rome
right,
and visit Maecenas.
what should we do with that? Maybe having returned to Rome, he would visit Maecenas. Ooh, that is wicked different than English, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have two future participles, well, kind of future infinitives, and we have that very terse participial phrase there, regressum. And that, having returned to Rome, he would revisit Maecenas. Maybe we're better off saying after he returned. Make a clause out of it. After he returned, he would visit Maecenas. But all of that is in one word. Very, very powerful, these participles.
Okay. So, but when he had arrived at the farm,
Good. Everybody sees the pluperfect. When? Good.
he was so happy
He was so happy or so content that how content was he?
he was
Okay.
so happy that he did not return to Rome.
That
and
he was he was unwilling.
unwilling to return to Rome
Yes.
and stayed in the country for all of August.
For all of Sextilis, of course, that's August. It was later renamed Augustus, yes, after Augustus. Good. Oh, we can just say August. Yeah, look, they tell you just say August, right. Okay, good. Because we don't know what Sextilis is.
So, so he wrote a letter to Maecenas.
Good. Amanda.
A letter to him must be written.
Yeah, it's kind of past tensey, Amanda's participle, right?
Yeah.
And so a letter had to be written by him. He
Okay.
had to write a
He
letter.
had to write a letter to Maecenas.
Do we all see it? That Carthago delenda est can be in other tenses, and here's an example. A letter had to be written by him. He had to write a letter. Good.
So he had to write the letter.
Now here's the qui plus the subjunctive, and that's the other grammar from this chapter.
So to confess
To confess. Do we say it? Please make sure you say it.
that he had been a liar.
Yeah, more indirect statement that he had been a liar. How do we know how to translate these participles in indirect statement? Depends on context. But I think there's a right way and a wrong way. Yeah, because it started out in the past tense, right? We're going to translate the perfect infinitive as had. Good. He begged, he beseeched.
Okay, so he beseeched his friend
Good.
to come
Yes, to, nice. Go right to good English.
to
Literally, if you want, to give him pardon.
okay.
Give pardon to him. But
So
if you
to
want
excuse him.
to excuse him would be better. Okay,
Right.
nice, beautiful. Do you want to do a little more?
Not really.
Okay, hold on. Any questions? The next paragraph. Quintus.
Quintus, when he had remained in the farm of Sabine.
Yeah, his Sabine farm. I think we should go translate these subjunctives and cum clauses exactly like the corresponding tense in the indicative. So this is imperfect subjunctive, translated as if it were an imperfect indicative. While he was remaining on his Sabine farm, good. Or when he, rather, probably better, when he remained on his Sabine farm.
Was becoming a true countryman.
Yeah, good. It Ray would, in truth, would truly, really become a countryman, a farmer. Now, here's all the things he did when he was a farmer. He, that's, what's the one thing he did?
He sent out servants
Yes.
to
Yeah, everybody see it? Two, good,
to reap grain crops.
good.
Uh,
What else did he do?
He
A lot of commanding going on here for a farmer, huh?
he appointed children.
Yeah, boys, maybe here slaves. But then what's the difference between pueros and servos? Pueris very often it just means slave, but we'll have to look it up in a good dictionary, see what's the difference between a puer and a servus. We'll say boys.
He
Two,
to guard the sheep.
good.
He
himself,
moved rocks out of the farm.
good. Manu, by hand. That was really good translating, Ryan. Do we all see it? Saxa is the accusative. Ex agris moebat. Good. Please stop us if you have a question.
He was picking grapes and was making wine.
Good. Everybody see it? Maybe we could translate these imperfects as he would. He would pick grapes, he would make wine, if you'd like, even though it's indicative.
He was offering the wine to his guests.
Yeah, maybe same thing. He would offer, or something like that. He would offer the vinum. He would offer the wine, and then we have a relative clause, quod in suo fundo fecerat, which he had made on his own farm. So he would offer to his guests the wine which he had made on his own farm. Probably not the expensive stuff they're used to, especially if it's Maecenas' crowd. Yes. Okay?
Thus, with calling Maecenas to dinner.
Yeah, thus, when, it's just simply a when clause. If it's when plus a subjunctive. When he was calling Maecenas to dinner, he said. Here's the poem. My wine is cheap, but I made it myself, Maecenas. Okay? Any questions? Okay, good.
Right.
Last paragraph.
So if it rarely rained,
Yes.
Quintus
The sagates,
crops.
the crop. Ooh, what?
Or,
Did I just say what on YouTube? Well, that's a dangling article. I made that nomenclature. Dangling article. What the?
oh boy.
Okay, sorry.
The
The sagates were for a chori to Quintus. Strange, very strange phraseology. Just get, if you see it, just go right to good English, I think. So, go ahead. The crops
were cared for.
were a concern
Were
to
concerned to
him,
Okay.
rather than were for a concern for him.
Okay.
Or even better, he was concerned about his crops. Just recognize how the words actually work, though, right? Sagates is the nominative, and then you have two datives.
Okay. So, if hailstones attacked the vineyard?
Literally rushed into fell, I guess.
Okay. So if hailstones fell into the vineyard,
Into the vineyard.
he was afraid for the grapes.
He was afraid for the grapes, of course.
For the farm was so dear to him.
Yeah, nice, was so dear to him. Don't say was for a heart to him. That's Eve. That's about the worst one. Don't, please. The farm is not for a heart for him. Okay.
So, for the farm was so dear to him
Good.
that often he was happy to return, or he returned happily.
That he returned, revisited. Let me translate it literally. Are you with me, guys? We're just about that. He revisited the farm, Aum. He revisited the farm happily. That he always revisited the farm happily. Now, that's not such good English. Do with it as you will.
So, that he always happily returned to the farm.
Yeah, to the farm, good.
And often
And was always tristis
sad when he must return to Rome.
When he must return to Rome, good. Then now let's pause here. This is something you may not have noticed, and this is where we'll stop if you just pay attention for a second. These intransitive verbs, they mentioned it in the previous chapter. Really as an aside, they didn't even give any examples in Latin. They just mentioned it as an aside. Intransitive verbs in Latin, in this Amanda construction, this gerundive of obligation, are used impersonally. Eundum est. I don't even know how to translate it. It must go, mihi, for me. Like, you can't even translate it. It means I must go. Yeah, and that's what we have here. It's almost untranslatable. It's intransitive verb being used impersonally. It must go for him. Eundum est. Meaning he has to go. So just don't even try to translate it. Recognize it for what it is. Gerundive of obligation, intransitive verb, impersonal usage. When he had to return. Okay, do you see it? Eundum est. And why is it subjunctive here? Because it's in a cum clause. Any questions? Questions?